Thank you. I'm just going to share my screen here. Just bear with me.
Yes.
Okay, just checking to see that everybody can see that. Let me just get the
Yes.
zoom out of the way, all the windows. Okay, good. Thank you very much for having me here. I'm Patañjali Chary, founder and CEO of Fourth Vital. We're building the upstream kidney risk intelligence layer, surfacing kidney risk earlier in the disease trajectory. The goal is simple: move the warning upstream. So this began with my mother. She went from living her life to kidney failure with essentially no warning or symptoms. Her story, though, is not unusual. 9 in 10 people with kidney disease don't know they have it. Kidney disease is silent, and decline can begin between routine tests. Fluid shifts can reveal hidden kidney risk earlier. This is the clinical insight the platform is built around. The fluid signal moves first. That creates an earlier warning window upstream before standard methods register the decline. The exact predictive lead time and predictive value are what we're now clinically validating. In kidney care, timing beats size. GFR and UACR remain essential, but they're episodic. Bioimpedance detects hidden fluid non-invasively, the proven signal we build upon. We didn't invent the physiology. We're making the signal usable, remote, repeatable, and longitudinal. It's an earlier layer on top of today's standards, not a replacement. But one bioimpedance reading is, oops, sorry about that. So one bioimpedance reading is not the product. Our AI fuses repeated bioimpedance measurements with labs, vitals, history, and EMR data to build a longitudinal risk trajectory for each patient. The signal is our edge. The model and the data are the moat. And the moat strengthens as the longitudinal data set grows. We start before the lab gate, upstream of the existing kidney care ecosystem. The companies here show where we fit. We're built to complement their workflows, not replace them. Many are natural customers and partners. We give them an upstream signal to license, not a system to rebuild. So the investor question is obvious. Will anyone pay before clearance? There is public precedent. AstraZeneca committed more than $4 million to Impedimed Zozo in CKD-related trials. Our target is lower, about $4,000 per patient per year. We are live collecting data from an IRB-approved Canadian kidney unit with 50-plus patients enrolled and repeated signal capture underway. A second cardiorenal clinic gives us a capacity for 250-plus additional patients once our EVT is ready. Our IP is patent pending with research use only outreach focused on kidney care platforms and clinical research partners. So CKD is our wedge, but the same signal and platform can extend into cardiorenal and metabolic disease, but we're deliberately focused on kidney first. We surface the invisible 90% upstream before patients crash into dialysis. So everything left to today is done. The signal foundation is established, the pilot is live, and this round funds our own RUO system. Then we move into multi-site deployment, richer data across CKD stages, and research use only revenue before regulatory clearance has to carry the business forward after that. We're de-risking the company in sequence: signal, device, commercial demand, then regulatory and reimbursement. So that sequences matters economically. Our model targets about $4,000 per patient per year in RUO, more than 80% gross margins, and roughly 6-month CAC payback. The key point is that RUO revenue can begin before reimbursement and help fund the path toward regulated clinical use. This endeavor needs an unusual combination of clinical, hardware, AI, and go-to-market expertise. Dr. Berman is our physician co-founder and clinical lead. Alex brings full-stack medical device engineering, and Steve leads our AI architecture. I've spent my career building and commercializing enterprise-scale technology, including at places like Oracle and Microsoft. And Big Bang is our strategic partner for our EVT and hardware build. We're raising $1.25 million on a safe note designed to fund approximately 24 months. The capital gets us to research use only launch and paid pilot readiness, expands clinical sites and patients, builds the longitudinal data moat, and lays the groundwork for regulatory submission. The near-term milestone that matters most is moving from today's live pilot to paid pilot readiness and RUO revenue. So this began with my mother, and there was no warning. Fourth Vital is building the early warning. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we'll take judges' questions now.
Can you give us
What
a
is your
sense-
regulatory path? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, please, you jump in. We're going to
I was just going to ask, what is the regulatory path you're envisioning?
Yeah, so right now we're looking at 510(k) predicate device. We're able to leverage that. However, with some of the new concepts that we're exploring and really through our extension of our pilot phase right now, it's possible it may be other like de novo application. But at the moment, 510(k) predicate device is the clear pathway on the FDA side.
I appreciate that you were vague or unclear at the beginning about how early your test will be helpful. But what should we be betting on? Obviously, if it catches something an hour earlier than it otherwise would be caught, not as helpful. If it catches it 10 years earlier, super helpful. Where do you expect to be in that?
Yeah, great question. So a couple of things. Actually, a few years ago, I built a billion-point synthetic model that basically demonstrated about an 18-month lead. Now, we're not only validating that, but recent published research has actually demonstrated the timing actually is still not clear, and that's something that we'll validate ourselves, but really shown that that fluid shifts actually are more predictive earlier than when protein changes happen in the body, which is typically used as an indicator of kidney decline, and other standard methods. And so it's very promising that, there's a lot of even more recent studies demonstrating that this is very much earlier, but the actual amount of time earlier is what we will actually validate and determine ourselves with what we're doing. But if you look at the data that's out there right now, it's very promising in terms of the lead time.
Thanks.
Potential lead time. Yeah.
If you're successful in getting the product to the marketplace, what's the overall impact to the patient, to the healthcare system? I mean, how would you gauge the success?
Oh, sorry. How would I gauge the success?
Yeah, how would you gauge success?
Yeah. I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. When I thought about this, and still vision is how can we prevent kidney disease, right? It's a pretty bold goal, I realize. But I also learned along the way that there are so many patients, close to 1 billion patients in the world with kidney disease, 90% not having a clue. So the biggest first impact in adoption is existing kidney patients, where the same markers are used today to detect kidney decline and progression. So the reality is, as the disease progression uses those same routine labs, it detects the progression too late, and people often then end up crashing into dialysis because often they find out too late anyway. So we believe we can make a huge impact on that by being able to detect upstream and actually basically stratify the risk much earlier. It allows physicians to intervene, an opportunity to slow things down and increase quality of life years, and reduce a lot of costs actually with treating kidney disease, which is massive. It's like $1.6 trillion a year when you combine with all the cardio, kidney, metabolic elements that go into this and comorbidities. So we can have a huge impact, I think, on this, starting with patients with existing kidney disease and moving backwards to pre-CKD as well.
Are there other judge questions? Thank you so much. We'll go on to the next founder. Good presentation.
Thank you.